Hey, this is Blizz of Oz 45, and I'm back for another video about the Beastlord in Project 2002. And I got to level 15, so I'm going to go over the spells. It's really a great level to me because the spells, one in particular, which I'm going to get to, are so cool and class defining and make the Beastlord a lot of fun to play. So the first spell is going to be Blast of Frost. It's a fast casting spell. It only does 20 damage for 20 mana. So basically, Blast of Frost is a pulling spell. That's really, I would say, all it's good for. You probably wouldn't want to spam it for any reason, really, because your pet does such good damage. But, you know, it depends on your playstyle, I guess. And obviously, you get a new pet at level 15, which is called Spirit of Khalees. And Spirit of Khalees is basically just an upgrade to your first pet. And it does, I would say, 20 damage a hit max. It's a good pet. Seems to have a lot of hit points. I believe Beastlord pets do not dual wield, however. I think they just double attack. But good pet. Really more of a tanking pet, I would say. Kind of a balance in between Necro and Magician pets. Anyway, so next up is Keshaval's Rejuvenation. Now, I looked at this spell, and the ratio of healing to mana is better than a Cleric's level 14 heal spell. Healing for a level 14 Cleric is 60 mana for 84 to 100 healing, where Keshaval's Rejuvenation is only 30 mana for 85 to 100 healing. That's pretty amazing. Obviously, this is going to have to carry you for quite a ways. This is going to be your heal spell all the way up to 29. Yeah, 30. I'm sorry, level 30. So yeah, it's going to have to last you, and it's obviously going to feel pretty weak by the time you get close to level 30. But yeah, it's at the time you get it, it is a very, very good heal spell. It's the best in the game. Anyway, okay, so the next one is really the star of the whole show, Spirit of Lightning. Spirit of Lightning is just absolutely my favorite spell implemented in EverQuest. And actually, I love to rant about wizards, and I'm going to do it again because this is something I just love to do about classic EverQuest. One of the ideas I had when I was trying to, like a lot of people actually, a lot of wizards were trying to tell the developers, look guys, you've got to do something for wizards. They're just, the damage just is not cutting it. And one of the ideas I had was to make a proc buff where I could cast a buff on melees and they would do an elemental damage proc based off whichever proc buff I put on them. Well, the developers were listening and they gave the spell to Beastlords. And it is a very powerful spell at this level. It procs for 62 magic damage. And it's got like a half-hour duration, so you don't have to refresh it very often. And it doesn't cost very much mana. It's really the linchpin for the Beastlord's pet, because the pet, before it gets that proc buff, it does its job, but it doesn't do very much damage. But this proc buff, man, sometimes I've seen it go off like 4 or 5 times a fight. Usually it's about a couple times a fight, but it definitely gets a lot of attention because 62 damage at this level, essentially a free spell, a free nuke, is pretty good. Wizard damage, I think the best wizard nuke is somewhere around 75, 78 damage at level 15, I want to say. Or, yeah, close to 80. But it's very comparable, and this spell pays for itself in a few fights. It's basically free damage after a while, and I love it. It's so cool, and it, like melee tends to be kind of a dry type of gameplay where it's basically just you spamming melee and there's no spell effects, but everybody loves procs, and I've gone over that before in my past videos about classic EverQuest, and so this spell is just, I love it. To me, it just makes the class that much better. I mean, it's not like the class was weak in any way, but obviously the pet needed something. There it is, just nuking them down. But yeah, I really love it. So I'm two boxing again, so you're getting a view of my Necro, who's on the right hand side, and my Beastlord is on the left. And boxing is still pretty tricky for me. It's taking a while to coordinate, and sometimes it just gets to be a headache where I'm just like, all right, I'm not boxing. I'm just blah, not doing it. So, and I'll just play solo for a while. But it's still fun because it just adds that extra bit of complexity to what you're doing as opposed to just hitting one or two spells, moving into melee position, or waiting for the right time to cast a heal or a nuke, that type of stuff. It just it adds to it, and I felt like the Necro was a really good companion to the Beastlord. I felt like the Beastlord and Necro complement each other really, really well because you have a tankier pet who does good damage and can pull aggro or keep aggro off of your skeleton pet if you're tanking. In the meantime, as the Necro, you can lay down, you can stack some dots, and at least at this level, I've stacked 3 dots and not pulled aggro while netting. So I know it can change and probably will at higher levels, especially when it comes to spells like Venom of the Snake that have a high aggro profile. But for the time being, I don't have to do any fearing. It's just send out the pets and start dotting and just sit down and wait for the next fight. And what's cool is because now that I've got Blast of Frost, I can pull as my Beastlord. I'm in a group here, but if I'm soloing, I can pull with Blast of Frost. It's going to draw a little bit of aggro. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a beating when I get back to the camp, but it serves its purpose. It gives me a ranged attack for pulling, and then I just sit down. I'm not even meleeing as my Beastlord right now. I get dual wield at level 17, so I'll save that for a later video. But as far as getting into melee range, I think the only time it makes sense for the Beastlord to be doing that is if he's in a group and there's a tank, which is actually happening in this case. But because I'm two boxing, I prefer to just let my Beastlord sit, and he'll regenerate mana. So if we get a multi-mob pull, I can just send the pet in to off-tank a mob and let our tank only have to tank one mob while my pet's tanking the other ad, and I heal my pet. So it works out pretty good. But yeah, if I wasn't two boxing, I'd be in there fighting right now. It's just because I've got my Necro keeping me busy a little bit on dots. Just coordinating, going in, getting melee range, auto attack, yada yada. I just don't feel like doing it. And I feel like definitely in this group we're pulling fast enough, and the damage output between myself and the Necro and our pets is plenty sufficient. So I don't feel like the group is getting gimped because I'm not in there doing melee. And my melee weapon isn't very good. This is my first character on P2002, this Beastlord. So it was the one that everybody knows about when you start over on like an EverQuest server, how hard it is starting out. And but I was determined to play a Beastlord. I played a Ranger too, and I'll get back to my Ranger before too long. But for the time being, the Beastlord is really it's either a first place reason why I came to P2002 or a strong second. It's pretty close either way, but I love the class and I love the synergy of it, especially when it comes to the Necromancer. And it would be really cool to just stack Beastlords, especially at this level, because it's so powerful. And it'd be really cool to have multiple Beastlords in a group, just wiping mobs with that direct damage proc. I mean, it's really probably a bit overpowered, but I'm not complaining. In the end, when you're playing Classic EverQuest, even when you have pocketbooks and soulbinders and the bazaar, I don't care. There's still challenge. It's still a challenging game, any way you look at it. And we're in Kern's right now. Now we started out doing the basement, and my grouping buddy here, he didn't like it because um, there's a lot of necros and shamans. It's actually, I think it's all necros and shamans. So they're putting darkness on you and snaring you, and I think there's shadow knights or they're harm touching, a few of them even harm touch. So it's a very very difficult place to um, try and pull, and especially if you're boxing, to try and coordinate all of it. And I think he was pretty justified in not wanting to do basement anymore. So we went up top, up to the second level, and something I've noticed on 2002, and I'm trying to chronicle like my observations of P2002 is the cash drops are definitely higher. So if you come over here from P99 and you're used to mobs at this level dropping some gold and silver, you're going to be a little bit surprised to see them dropping platinum, and it's really nice too, because especially when you're new. But you can never have too much money in a game where gearing and trading amongst players is a big part of what you do. And actually, I've been in the bazaar quite a bit, trying to gear up, trying to get weapons and armor and whatnot upgrades. And the bazaar prices are actually very reasonable compared to P99. A lot of stuff is cheaper, and I'm liking it a lot. Now, these two trolls in my group are actually being controlled by one guy. He's boxing. This is actually his first time or first experience boxing in EverQuest. He's played EverQuest about as much as I have, but he never boxed before. And I'm pretty sure he's running one character on a PC and the other's on a laptop. And he's doing pretty good. I have to give him props. He's actually coordinated it pretty well. I think it's just it just gets confusing sometimes. I think maybe I'm kind of debating about doing what he's doing because I've got a laptop, and any computer can run EverQuest, and I'm kind of debating about trying to get my laptop in here because I keep my laptop in a different room. But I might just run my second character on a laptop because just I don't know. It's convenient to have the two screens like right in front of you, but I get confused a lot. Like I kind of lose track of which character I'm controlling. Like sometimes I'll be like I'll start to cast a spell, switch characters, and then forget to put my necro or have my necro sit down to med. But it's still fun. It's just I'm really enjoying the extra little bit of complexity. But anyway, if any of you guys watch this video and you have any questions about P2002, the Beastlord boxing, just whatever, drop a comment and I'll be happy to answer your questions in the next video. So that's all I got for now, and thanks for watching.